I'm outside the Isha Foundation here in Coimbatore. Joining me is Sadhguru himself, who's of course started the Free Temple campaign, which has become a major talking point this election here, especially in southern India. Sadhguru, thank you for speaking to us. Firstly, what's the message to the voters of that today?
Well, as I already said, we must understand the significance of being in a democratic country. That means as people, as ordinary people, doesn't matter who you are, how big you are or how small you think you are, all of us have one oath. So it levels every human being as one. That's important. Another thing is, this is the only process in the history of humanity which has allowed us to change power from one hand to another without bloodshed. Otherwise, never in the history of humanity have we managed to shift power without bloodshed, without killing. So this is a phenomenal process. Do not compromise it by either voting based on your religion, caste, creed, even party affiliations. You must see from your own understanding, from your own intelligence, who you think is competent enough, capable enough, committed enough to bring well-being to the people of your state. That is where your vote should go. Only then we keep democracy alive. The moment we start voting in predetermined ways, we are just going back to feudalism. Let's not do that to our country. That our country should be a democratic process. To be a successful democracy, every individual must vote, and every individual must vote according to his or her choice, not by any other considerations.
Well, but you yourself in a video message have said that your vote goes to the person, to the party in fact, who will work towards freeing temples in Tamil Nadu.
Yes, of course, because that matters to us. I said 5 things that I want, well only this picked up momentum. So talking about temples, as we have already spoken enough, that over 37,000 temples are in a state of decay out of 44,000 temples. When I say they are in a decay, there is hardly 1% to manage the entire process of the temple. They are all earning below 10,000 rupees per annum, but they have enormous wealth. Where this wealth is going, what's happening, is something that we need an external audit to look at. So now we have said what we have said. 2 smaller parties in Tamil Nadu have said they will definitely go all out with the suggestions we have made, but they don't have the power. But the 2 major parties have taken incremental steps, which are baby steps, but I think they're good steps. So whoever gets elected, we will definitely work with them to take this to its logical end, because it's in the people's hearts that this must happen. 3.32 crore people have supported this through missed calls and other means of communication. So when that many people want it, I don't see how any government can ignore it.
Well, talking about the Free Temple campaign itself, you said you want to keep it as yes. You said that you want to keep it as apolitical as possible, whether you like it or not, it has of course become political, and you have some parties in Tamil Nadu across the country who are supporting your campaign. Some of them are aggressively against it.
See, being for and against is a part of democratic process. That doesn't mean to say the issue is political. The issue is of a very human nature. The issue is of great significance to majority population here. But political debates will inevitably happen in a democracy. It doesn't matter, everybody can say what they think, but as I said, 3.32 crore people have supported this in an electorate of little less than 5 crores. 3 crore people, how can you ignore that? I don't think they can ignore that. So whichever government comes into place, we will work with them. Well, because I clearly understand it's a very complex issue. It's not like something you can flip it over overnight. So it needs to be worked at slowly.
Okay. I'd like to ask you, in the interview 2 times now, Kanimori reacted to this matter. We've had Karthi Chidambaram, who's of course spoken about it. They're asking one pertinent question: free temples from whom? They say committees are already existing who are taking care of temples. They're saying the balance of society which has been followed because of government control will be lost. There could be marginalized communities who could face issues when they go to temple if it's given to the community. And right now, as far as the income generated is concerned, it largely stays with the temple itself.
See, they're talking about an ancient problem. That problem did exist in our country, that professions and different aspects and activities of our social life was divided on the basis of caste. That is the reality of our existence. But that reality doesn't make sense anymore. So you can't be talking about the same problem that existed 50, 100 years ago and going on saying the same thing. It's very clear today that irrespective of your caste, you can be a teacher, you can be a soldier, you can be anything you want, all right, if you get the necessary training. The same goes for the priesthood. Irrespective of your caste, creed or religion, if you have devotion in your heart and willing to train for what is needed, you can become that. So this whole thing about bringing caste into this as if it's some kind of a barrier, no. That barrier by law is gone long time ago.
Okay.
In social practice, unfortunately, it's still there. This is one of the best ways to level this out. Tomorrow when you see that anybody can come into the temple, not only come into the temple, they can also be part of running the temple, and we don't even ask them what is your caste. When that happens, real leveling of the society will happen. Those who are not being treated as equals in villages, it will change significantly when they are part of the spiritual process also.
Last quick questions I'm going to ask you. The opposition has mentioned one more thing quite aggressively, that they've termed you as the B team of the BJP because they've even had the free temple issue in their manifesto.
We must understand this. These are election times, everybody can say many responsible things, it's all right. But what I'm saying is, BJP also, in wherever it has government, it has done the same thing. So, how am I the B team of anything? Everybody should understand this. I have never been and never will be a B team of anybody for that matter, either a political party or anything for that matter. I will never be a B team. If people have followed me and known me, they know I have spoken my mind, it doesn't matter which government. But once the people elect the government, I will respect that, whoever it is, because I respect democracy. Maybe I disagree with them, but when people have elected, I bow down to them because that is the nature of democracy. My opinion is not higher than people's will. That's how I understand democracy.
So, final question to you, this particular campaign, is it going to be limited right now to Tamil Nadu? Because you have your ashram spread out across the country and the world. How are you going to take this nationally now forward?
See, now that the election time is over, because of the election was in Tamil Nadu, nowhere else in southern India, we contained it to Tamil Nadu. And the issue in Tamil Nadu is far more serious than anywhere else. One thing is that the law is far more draconian, and the temples are too many in Tamil Nadu, and it needs a certain attention. But now that the election is over, inevitably it will spread across the country. We cannot contain it to the geography of Tamil Nadu for sure.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Well, that was Sadhguru giving us…